Not every film can be Citizen Kane, but even critics have claimed that it was shit in its day. Some films are shit and shit they will stay, but some get better over time because of Nicolas Cage. So which film stays shit forever? And which one's got a little bit better? Second chance movies. No poor bloods were harmed in the making of this podcast.
Welcome to Second Chance Movies, the podcast where we rewatch movies and decide if they deserve a second chance.
I'm Joe Harper, your host who loves rewatching movies and lived through the era of VHS.
I'm Jessica Kwazz, your one and done kind of movie viewer who's not really a big fan of kids. And today we are giving a second chance to the one, the only, the movie you may have never heard of, and that's North.
The reason we chose North.
Yeah, Joe, why did we choose to watch this movie?
The reason we chose North. If you let me get it out, I will gladly state the reason why.
Okay.
The reason I'll take blame for this. The reason I chose North is because we just did a team battle review of Armageddon and Deep Impact. And in both of those movies, we have Elijah Wood and Bruce Willis as pretty much the stars of each movie. And this is the only time I feel like we could ever talk about this movie, North. For those of you who do not know what North is, because most people I've ever mentioned it to have no clue. I owned this movie on VHS back when I was a kid, and I watched it a whole bunch. And nobody else knew about this, or no one else had talked about it. And then as an adult, I realized it's like one of the most hated movies of all time. Critics hated it. People who watched it hated it. Oh, man. So just to get to the summary, because most of you probably have no idea what North is. The wife didn't know until she sat down, like, oh, what is this about? Okay. IMDb says, sick of the neglect he receives from his mom and dad, a young boy leaves home and travels the world in search of new parents. Now, this is a family movie, like for like the whole family to get together, very aimed at like kids as the audience. And so I can only assume that's one of the reasons why you hate this movie. But like this movie just brought nostalgia back into my heart. So I'm going to be very impartial when talking about this movie. And this is more so, I want a perspective of somebody, an adult, who's never seen this movie and can tell me why it's so terrible.
Yeah, so this
I don't think it's that bad.
This was my first time watching it. I did not have the nostalgia factor that you have. I never saw it before. I've never even heard of this movie before until you suggested it. I had no idea what it was.
When I type this into like Google searches, I have to specifically write North movie or North 1994. Because if I just type in North, it is not nowhere near what pops up into the first like 10 brackets of anything.
No, it's going to be the geography North and the Kardashian Northwest. Like there's not going to be the movie. Yeah, so it was wild because one, I'd never heard of this movie. So I sat down and watched it for free on Amazon Prime because I don't think I would pay to rent it. But what's insane right away is the people that are involved in this movie. That's what really like shocked me because it's unknown, and who the people who do know it besides you seem to hate it. But it's directed by Rob Reiner, which is like, okay. And it stars, like we said, Elijah Wood, Bruce Willis.
Can I just read off the cast really quick?
Please do, because this cast is versatile and big.
Elijah Wood, Bruce Willis, Jason Alexander, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, John Lovitz, Alan Arkin, Dan Aykroyd, Reba McEntire, Keon Young, Lauren Tom, Graham Greene, Kathy Bates, Abe Vigoda, John Ritter, Faith Ford, and we also get a brief appearance from Scarlett Johansson as like a 10-year-old girl.
A tiny child.
So fun.
It's so bonkers to see all these people in this. Also from my Law and Order SVU fans still out there, Richard Belzer pops up real quick.
He's like one brief
He's
scene.
like one scene. So yeah, that was also really interesting, was just like watching the credits before I even got into this movie, just seeing all these names, especially like when the movie came out, some of these people were like big stars. So it was really fascinating.
A lot of Academy Award nominated actors
Yeah.
or Emmy nominated, like we got all over the board.
All over the board.
A country music star.
I love Reba. I'm just going to say it now. I think Reba is wonderful and fabulous, and her acting roles are always really fun. Tremors. She's in Tremors. Yeah. I love her.
Should we talk about reviews this movie had?
Let's talk about some of the reviews, because, wow, people had some feelings about this movie.
I think we need to start off with like the 4 positive reviews I could find.
There were very few positives.
Yes. So few, but there was so many negative. And like, I feel like every negative review I read, it wasn't specific to an issue. It was just like, I hate this. I hate it.
All right. So Michael A. Smith from Nolan's Pop Culture Review wrote, I happen to like Bruce Willis in a bunny suit. That's all she said.
I feel like anyone who didn't watch the movie is already going, what?
Yeah.
What is that review about?
Yeah, Bruce Willis.
He does have a pink bunny suit, and it looks great.
He looks good in that too. So Michael A. Smith, yeah, I don't disagree.
All right, we have David Sterrett of Christian Science Monitor. The screenplay by Alan Zwiebel and Andrew Schneiman packs more on-target social satire than any film in recent memory, and zesty performances keep it clicking along at a rapid pace.
The social satire to me is, hey, we got stereotypes. Let's rip on them.
Hey, we're just gonna amplify these stereotypes so much, guys. I wouldn't call it satire.
No.
Ignorance, but like fun ignorance to me.
I mean, the kids of it is, I guess, some sort of social commentary, but not enough for me to say this is A++ with the social satire. Good job.
I do think that it has a rapid pace. It's constantly moving to the next thing. I don't think we wait around at any point. We're flowing.
Yeah,
smoothly.
We get into the plot of it really quickly and just take off from there. So yeah, I wouldn't say this movie's boring because things are constantly happening. Janet Maslin from New York Times wrote, North, a playful modern fable about a boy in search of new parents, doesn't always work, but much of it is clever in an amusingly unpredictable way.
Chris Hicks, Deseret News, Elijah Wood has fast become the most appealing young actor making movies today, turning in consistently solid performances in a variety of roles. This really isn't about the movie as much as Elijah Wood is great.
Yeah.
And, oh my, does he shine in this? Anytime I think Elijah Wood, you know what? It's not Lord of the Rings. I always think North.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I think you might be the only one that goes there. Okay. That's fine.
But you did read the 2 positive reviews you found were half of the reviews I found. So yeah, that's it for positive reviews.
Okay, so on to the negative reviews, which there are a plethora of. But since Joe loves this movie so much, we don't need to spend a lot of time on shitting on it.
I mean, I don't mind shitting on it because like great. I understand it's goofy, but like I don't understand the hate for it. Like, yeah, it's fun, it's goofy, it's not supposed to be like a serious movie.
No. So Rita Kempley from the Washington Post wrote, this movie is aimed at neither kids nor adults. It simply isn't aimed. And I don't disagree with Rita, because there were times like as an adult watching this being like, who is this movie for though? Like, because I think it's for kids, but some of the humor is like really heavy and very adult-like. But I don't think as an adult I'm enjoying this. So it's like there is a little bit of like, who is this for?
Yeah, and especially like North calls the kid an asshole at the end. I'm just like, whoa, was this who is this for?
Who is this for? Because some of the humor is like, I don't think I would like that or get that as a kid. I don't know. It gets dark sometimes too. I don't know. I don't know who this movie's
Said
for.
a bad word. Martin Scribbs of low IQ Canadian, Elijah Wood is very lucky that a certain Hobbit trilogy came along to clear his record of this turd.
Oh my God. First of all, he's a child when
Yeah.
he signed on to make this movie. I don't think he had
was
like a
just
ton
yeah, I
of
get to be in a
agency.
movie.
Yeah, like so calm down. It's a kid. You're judging him as a child.
Steve Crum of Kansas City, Kansas. North, this movie stinks due south, deep into the ground oblivion.
Wow. I see what you did there, Kansas.
Let's talk about North. Okay, this was my second go around, and I still liked it. What? I mean, I know it's dumb the entire time, but like it's entertaining, it's silly, but like your first view, I think, is more important. What did you think about your first viewing of North?
So it was a lot of feelings of like, what am I watching? This is wild. This is weird, bonkers. This is crazy. I didn't have the very emotional hatred. I didn't feel like that strongly of a reaction either way, truly. There were some very weird moments, but then there were also some kind of silly and goofy moments that I didn't dislike. That I like. It was just it's a strange movie because the concept is, like you've said before, this kid North is essentially neglected
Also,
by his parents.
That's a weird name for a kid.
It's a really weird name for a kid, and we don't get an explanation as to why
direction.
it's named North.
North, also, his parents do not have names. They're just North's mom and North's dad.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis is the narrator, listed on the cast list, but I think he has like 5 to 6 roles in this movie.
Yes, he comes in and out a lot as different characters in North's journey, and then he's also the narrator, which was like super confusing because I was also wondering, like, is Bruce Willis supposed to be like a fairy godmother kind of role?
I was thinking he's either a spiritual guide or a fairy godmother.
Yes, but then there's a twist at the end. So
we'll let him know what that twist is. We're already spoiling this movie.
Well, the twist is it was all a dream.
Megan was like, what?
So I think with the ending, the sort of like goofiness and over the top things that happen make sense because it's in a child's dream world. It's in an imagination. So at the end, it's kind of like, oh, I see. But at the end, he also is just like, you know what? I love my mom and dad. But it's like, why? Just because you had a dream that there could be slightly worse parents out there? Like, what? It's interesting too, because this movie makes like child neglect and emotional abuse seem like cutesy. Like, it's okay. It's fine. So that's an odd thing too. I will say though, like right off the bat, I was like, oh yeah, North, your parents are psychopaths. Like, you should probably get out of that house. Like, they do not care about you. So I understood it.
The opening scene is just the two parents like squabbling, and North is just, but I want to, and then North has a heart attack at the age of 12. Show us at least 1 or 2 scenes where like they were kind and nice. Like maybe North has a flashback of like, oh yeah, they are arguing about how much they love me. I just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
we should take North to Disneyland.
Yeah.
No, we should take him to Six Flags. Nah! And like, but I wanna, and then like,
right, because at the end it's just like, oh, he loves his family, but it's like, but why? Like, why does he like them all of a sudden? Why are they good parents all of a sudden? Because they seem terrible and awful people.
North's parents suck.
Parents suck.
What did you what did you like about this movie? That's what I wanted to know first. I need to know that prior to us just bashing this movie.
Sure. I'm gonna be upfront. There isn't a lot that I like about this movie.
That's fine.
That's
This
fine.
is why I need to know, like,
Okay.
what do we? Because I'll tell you what I like. My list of likes is my list of do not likes is so minimal.
One thing I do like is some of the performances are very fun. I did find little Elijah Wood to be charming.
Yeah.
I didn't hate him like I hate every other child in this movie.
So there's four child actors I want to talk about in this movie. One, Elijah kills it as a lead.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
great.
he holds it up, entertaining the whole time.
Yes.
The second child I want to talk about is Matthew McCurley. He plays Winchell. Winchell is such a scumbag in the most fun way. He's the kid at school that's wearing a suit, slicked back hair, and he's just like, fuck you, I'm better than everyone. I have a plan to take over the world. I don't really know what his motives are towards the end. So he kind of pushes North to like, hey, you should sue your parents and get better parents. And gets John Lovitz, who's always fun and everything. I've never disliked him. He plays like a shitty lawyer that, you know, helps North get this deal. Winchell is just like, I think he wants this to work out. That way kids have the power over adults and then he can run the world.
Yeah. While North is globetrotting to find parents, there's this like secondary storyline where that kid is basically running a Lord of the Flies type of situation where they use North as a symbol for like children's freedom and like we can control our parents because otherwise we'll leave them, and it's a little psychopathic.
North's parents don't make him mow the grass.
Yeah. So there's this crazy plot line of the children needing North to ditch his parents so that they can have ultimate control over their parents. And then it warps into this very like dark storyline of like North isn't doing what the kids need him to do as their symbol, so they need to murder him.
Yeah, he might go back to his own parents, so let's murder North. And he's so like, well, that's just the way it has to be.
Yeah.
Are you on board with this? Oh my God. I like this kid so much. I think this kid, I'm really upset that he's not in way more things because he probably could have been great. I don't know what happened to this actor. Third child actor I want to talk about is Scarlett Johansson.
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
fun seeing her. You're like, oh, look how little she is.
So little.
She's a part of like the suburban family. This like the white picket fence. Everything's so nice. Everyone's so friendly and kind. She's just like, hey, North, wanna play? I'm like, so cute. It's fun to see like big blockbuster named actors in like their first performances, especially if they're tiny.
So tiny. I didn't realize she's been acting that long too. I didn't realize she was acting since she was a literal baby.
Yeah. Speaking of, I don't know if I would say well-known, but infamous actors that were child actors. Did you notice anyone else a part of that cast?
No. Are you talking Rita Wilson?
I'm talking about, well, I mean, no, I was talking about the children. Okay. Rita Wilson does have a small role as one of the moms that's just like a brief cutaway. Jesse Smollett.
What?
Jesse Smollett is the kid in the trench coat. He's Adam. He's the kid that's like Winchell's right-hand man in the beginning. Like he gets flyers. I was like, oh my God. Like I read in the credits, I was like, wait, what? He's there. I was like, oh man, is that all he does? No, he's the trench coat kid at the end. It's like, hey, North, here's a VHS tape of what your parents really said. You didn't hear it from me. Man, you ain't gonna shoot me. Like he dips.
Wow.
Yeah. That's Smollett.
Man, the Smollett kids have history.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
His sister was in Full House as a little kid, and now it's in Lovecraft. So
yeah, she's wonderful.
That blew my mind when I heard that. It's like, wait, she was like Michelle's little friend?
Yeah.
What?
Denise.
Yeah.
Wow. What?
Yeah.
One thing I did really like, and I found very amusing and fun was Reba and Dan Aykroyd as this crazy Texan couple. I just thought that they were really fun and like really going for it and just bonkers in like the best way.
This is the tone of the movie that should be 100% the entire way through.
Yeah.
Just goofy over the top.
Yes.
Every time North meets a family, it should be really different in something. And there are these loud, fun Texans that are wearing bright colored clothes that are ridiculous, like studded all over, super like stereotypical Texan. So when someone that doesn't live in Texas thinks of Texas, this is the image they get in their head. They're also digging for oil, is what they say. They dig for oil all the time and make all the money from oil. They own like so much land. And then like they pick North up in a limo. Megan even pointed out that's a cow. A cow was in the limo. Like a dog he's just petting is a cow. They feed North so much food and then break out to song and dance. And I'm so upset that there wasn't more of that in this movie. But like, man, that was so fun.
They were just really fun, and I felt like Dan Aykroyd and Reba are two people I never would pair together, but they worked so well together too. Like they both just
mom politics,
and they both like it's Dan Aykroyd in this very different version of himself. Like we never see him playing this kind of like country boy character, so that was really fun. And like him and Reba just kind of fed off each other in a really good way. And I just, like I said, I love Reba. I think she's so fun and just like really goes for it with wacky roles, and I enjoy her so much. So it was just really cool to see these two together. They, you know, to me stand out when I think of this movie. It's these two because they just really bring a fun energy to it. Also, I just learned this, that Reba turned down the role of Molly Brown in Titanic. She was set to go. She was actually like on casting for filming, but then they had a scheduling conflict because they had to like push back some of her scenes, and she was on tour and she's like, I can't.
Who's Molly Brown?
The unsinkable Molly Brown in Titanic, played by Kathy Bates, who's also in this movie. Bates.
Again, there's only three characters in Titanic I remember. Leo, Kate, Billy Zane. And those are not the characters. Those are the actors.
Not even Mr. Andrews, Victor Garber.
No, 100% no. There's only 4 things that I can remember about that movie. So it's 2 lovers, it's Billy Zane, and the boat. Those are the 4 characters. That's it.
No, there's so much more.
Okay. I don't want to talk about that movie.
I love Titanic. Anyway.
We're talking about North.
Anyway, fascinating stuff. That went to Kathy Bates, who's also in this movie. What is this cast?
Okay, second group of parents. Or should we talk about why North does not choose them?
Oh yeah, so that's really strange. So the reason that he's enjoying Reba and Dan Aykroyd, he's having a fun time, but then he learns that their child was trampled and
stampede.
And in a stampede, he's dead.
Was it a stampede?
Yeah, because at first I was like, is this child like actually a pet animal? No.
I always thought it was like a dog growing up. I didn't realize it was like an actual kid. The way you talk about it sounded like a cow, some sort of pet.
Right. I thought that would be a reveal. It's like they're crazy.
It's a big creature because they want to fatten North up. And North's like, I don't want to get fat. New parents.
Yeah. So they want him to get fat and replace their dead child or pet.
I do think it's fun giving North a ridiculous reason for each set of parents of why, like, I don't want to be a part of this family.
Yeah, because you kind of with this kind of story, you got to go big with like why it's not going to work out.
Yeah, what's the really dumb reason you don't want to be with these parents?
Yeah.
All right.
But okay.
We also get a Bruce Willis appearance as
Mhm.
like, just a gunslinger on the ranch. He just works there.
Yep, he's there.
He shoots a quarter.
Yeah,
he
sure does.
But man, is he just Bruce Willis the entire time? It's great.
Yeah, he really is.
All right, so second set of parents. I like the second set of parents so much. He goes to Hawaii. Hawaii looks like so much fun. If I was North, these are the parents I would have settled with. Good. Living in Hawaii, these two are pretty chill.
They're chill and they seem to be loaded, so you can just do whatever you want. You can be a rich little Hawaiian child. Yeah.
He's the governor. She is just his wife, I guess. Yeah, she's not the governor. But that's Julie from Friends.
Oh shit. I didn't even put that together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also,
everyone.
she voices Amy Wong on Futurama.
Oh. Wow.
Tom, yeah.
We just have everyone in this movie.
This movie's jam-packed with a lot of people.
Crazy.
So I do think the reason, as an adult, when I watch this, North's reason for not wanting to, I also think this is a really stupid idea on their part too, but they make a billboard to they want North to be their son to attract more people to come to Hawaii, because everyone forgets about Hawaii, and it's sad they do. But they forget it's a state. It is. Yeah. Oh, well. But North's on a billboard, and almost like the suntan lotion girl, the billboard's pulling down his underwear so you can see his crack. You can see my crack. He freaks out about that.
Yeah, he does not like that one bit.
Me as an adult, I was like, hey, if I get to live in Hawaii, you could show my crack to everyone.
Yeah.
I do not care.
I would fucking be like, hey, can I get a 2% of this tourism thing you're getting? Because you could make so much money, North. Get it together.
And live in paradise with two pretty chill people. But it is super weird that they're like, hey kid, we don't own yet. Let me put your butt on a billboard. Yeah. What are you guys doing? The next one? Alaska is fucking nuts.
It's so nuts.
Alaska, Kathy Bates is his mom,
and she's in full brown face.
Graham Greene is the dad, and then they're like, oh yeah, time to go take grandpa out. Wait, what are we doing? Their whole thing, I think this is dumb. I've always thought it was dumb. They just set poor old grandpa because it's time for him to die. They just drift him out on an iceberg just to die.
Yeah. Yep.
He's like, I'm not ready to go, but the desert. Oh no, it's very it's good for him. A lot of dignity in this.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
This is where things get okay, but is this movie for kids? Because this is really weird humor that I don't think. Well, I mean, did you understand what was happening when you were a kid and watching this? That they were euthanizing
Yeah, I knew they were
grandpa?
just sending grandpa out to die, and it was this is awful. No, thank you. Yeah. I don't want that. I think it's super fucked up because they're in line to get rid of grandpas. It's a line. There's a lot of grandpas that are getting floated away. One grandpa gets on. He's got a lounge chair and a TV. I don't know where that TV is plugged into because it's a floating ice block, but he gets to drift off, and North's grandpa just gets a stool.
Yeah. He gets the worst ice patch, just nothing to it, gets floated away, and then he's like, oh, look me up. I don't know. He's not into it. It's super strange. The whole thing is just oh my God, what are we doing here? It's very bizarre.
All right. But yeah, those are the three big family, and then the other big family he visits is our suburbia house with Faith Ford and John Ritter. Oh, I miss John Ritter.
I know. That was definitely something I was thinking while watching him. Just oh, John Ritter. Just a pleasant and funny dude.
We could have gotten so many more fun roles and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially in the wave of getting TV actors to do big serious movies and stuff.
Oh my God, yeah.
He could have done some stuff.
He could have done a lot. So that was it was bittersweet watching him because he's very like sweet and likable in this movie, and it's just like, oh man, John Ritter.
Okay, Jessica, if you had to choose any of the families that we see in the movie, which family would you choose as the family you would go to in North's position?
Oh man, it would definitely be between the Hawaiian family or John Ritter's family, but I would probably go with the Hawaiian family because they seem to have way more money.
Okay, you're in it for the money. Well, the Texans also have money.
The Texans also have money, but they want me to replace a dead child or pet, and I'm not really into that. That's like too much. But also, like, if I was a kid, like if I was around his age, I would probably choose a John Ritter family. Because I don't know how much I'm thinking about money at 12.
They seem really boring to me. I don't want to live in the suburbia like that. Are we ready to talk about what we didn't like? I think we've summed up the big families. I think we should spend time with more families, have more cutaway jokes in different parts of the world too. Because like I think when they just like flash to the different areas, that's a lot of fun, even though it's like stereotypical and silly. But like I want more of them. Go to Mexico, go to South America, go to just different parts of Africa, go to Europe more than just fucking France. Go to Russia, to like go everywhere. Get him to like see and give us more than just like a 1 minute joke. There's definitely a line where you should have just like the 1 minute joke, because like even like him seeing the Amish family for a brief second, like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, yeah, that was funny. I enjoyed that.
Did you recognize the lead Amish guy?
No.
He was one of the German dudes in Die Hard.
Oh my god. We just have a little bit of everything in this movie, truly.
There's a lot of stuff. But yeah, those are my big complaints. Spend more time with other families, visit more places around the globe, and then spend more time with North's parents before we just jump into it.
Yeah, I think.
What does North's dad do?
He's tries on pants or something. Like
he's number 6. That is what his like
job title.
I don't know if he's trying on pants or testing out clothes or testing out products. It's such a weird whatever he's doing. And then that was a weird thing to me.
It's very weird. I think too, like one thing that I didn't like about this movie, and it's not only because I can't stand kids, is the ending really shifts vibe and story like really fast, where it goes from like, I'm at John Ritter's house, but like they're great and nice, but it just doesn't feel right. I'm gonna go on my own adventure. And then all of a sudden it becomes like this murder story where he's being hunted by other kids who just want to murder him so they can like rule their parents, and it just becomes
Winchell
like,
hires like a hitman to like gun him down.
There's an adult hitman chasing him. At one point they find a hat that has red on it and they think it's blood, so they think he's dead, but it turns out to be beet soup.
When it has red on it. I always thought as a kid that was just marinara sauce, but the wife obviously knew what the beet sauce. It has a specific name. I don't remember it, but she was like, "Oh, that's this." And I was like, "Why are you saying it like I should know what that is?" It's beets. Like when she saw it, she's, "Oh, well, it's labeled that." I was like, "Oh, well, I don't know what that fucking is." She's a chef, so she knows.
Right, she knows the details.
She was smart.
Things got weird like very quickly with this band of children and adults like trying to literally murder him, and then he like just gets away by hopping in Bruce Willis's like FedEx truck to get home. It's
Federal Express.
Oh, Federal Express, sorry. So
it was like before the chain, like I was like, damn, that is old.
I guess.
And he also has to like race the clock because the judge, who is Alan Arkin, who is just so fun to watch. He's so goofy in this. He gives North like, you have until Labor Day to find new parents, but like if you want to go back to your old parents, you guys have to be like holding hands. All three parties have to be holding hands, or else. And
or he becomes a ward of the state. It's like, oh my
Jesus,
God.
yeah. Yikes. So it's so dramatic at the end when he has to like rush to like go grab his parents at his like secret spot in the mall, and then right as he's about to like get him, you realize Hitman was secretly hiding in the Lazy Boy, and just and like that's when we wake up from dreamland, and I'm like, this is lame.
Yeah. He's a 12-year-old child getting shot by an adult. It's so strange. Like, so strange. Like,
You know what I think is strange?
Hmm.
Bruce Willis like, hey kid, I'll give you a ride home.
Yeah.
And doesn't need GPS. He's like, 14 Maple Drive, here you are. How did you know where that is? Man, I could not live without GPS.
No, I will go down my street and still have my GPS going just in case. Like that.
When anyone asks me like, do you need directions to this? No, I have a
No.
phone with the internet.
I'm not gonna remember a direction. Are you kidding me?
Why would I use
No.
a map anymore?
No.
Man,
Oh my God.
when the apocalypse happens, we are all fucked. Do you have any other thoughts, comments on North?
No, just that it's honestly one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my adult life. But other than that, no.
Would you give this movie a second chance?
So I'm gonna get very specific here. I would.
I feel like I already know what your answer is going to be, but let's hear it.
If you love bad movies and are having like a bad movie night with friends, like in person or over Skype or however you're doing bad movie nights, and you have seen all the bad movies that you can think of, then go ahead and watch this movie. Be prepared to like make fun of it and like laugh at it with it. Don't go into this being like, you know what, I love children's movies, let's give it a go. No. Like, go into it ready to roast it with other people. Don't watch it by yourself, because I did and it was weird. Other than that, no. Nah.
So I think it's a charming kids movie, but again, it's not really, it's weird kids movie. The wife enjoyed it. She's like, it was entertaining. I didn't like hate it.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. Yeah.
So I think like, yeah, it's hard because I don't recommend this to any adult. If you didn't grow up in the 90s and like watch it then, I don't know how you would like need to watch it now. But I do think like it does deserve a second chance, and like I don't know why it's at 15%. It's not awful because it's entertaining. Like I get like 50. I would understand like 50% or like 60s pushing it, but like I personally, because I grew up watching it a lot, I have a higher liking for it than most people would. But I don't think it deserves like the shit it gets dumped on. Like I don't get it. It's not terrible. There's no part of this that I think is bad. It's just not great. It's really goofy. So like I think kids would enjoy it. I don't think it holds up well in 2021 as well as it could, but it's a good 90s like family movie. Is it a classic? No, but like it doesn't deserve the hate. I mean, we just saved you like an hour and a half, so
Yeah.
you're welcome, everyone. But yeah, if you want to check it out, it's fun. Get a grab a group of friends.
Yes.
You'll have a fun time with a group of friends, especially if everyone's talking through it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, let us know what you think. Have you seen North before? Are you one of the rare kids of the 90s who's seen this movie? Please let us know.
VHS.
On VHS. What a time. Let us know. Let us know what you think. Are there any movies like this that are just like lost in time with like this crazy like cast and story? What are some movies? Hidden gems that were lost in a decade. Thank you so much for listening. As always, please rate, review, comment, let us know what you think. Let us know what you want from us. What are movies you want us to give a second chance to? Big thank you to Beaty McBeatface, who made our theme song that we love. And yeah, you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Second Chance Movies. All of our links are in the show notes, so please check that out. And we'll be back next time with another Second Chance movie.
Second chance